Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Healthcare Digital Marketing Podcast. I'm super excited about this guest, Chris Ogletree. He's a financial wealth manager for Northwestern Mutual, but he does a lot more. So I'm excited for him to just, really showcase his experience, his background. Him and I met on Instagram actually, and like typically when I get an Instagram message, it's not real. It's like a bot or some kind of fake message. But I appreciate him reaching out. He has a great story, a lot of experience, especially in the medical dental space as well. And so I'm excited for him to share that story. And so, Chris, if you would just open up and give the audience background on who you are, what you do, that'd be a great start.
Yeah. So I am Chris Ogletree. I'm a wealth management advisor, financial advisor. My practice is affiliated with the Northwestern Mutual. So that company's been around extremely long time, over 167 years and counting. I've had my business for about 8 years now. And I started as an intern and went full time. And I've had a lot of really just success in helping a lot of different professionals. And we'll talk about who we really serve. But it's been a great ride so far, and just looking to continue to help change uh, the narrative of just the finances of America because we need a lot of help, and I'm able to be and play a small part in that. So I'm really excited about what I do and to be here with you today.
That's awesome. And how did you get into this industry? I'm just out of curiosity.
Sure, sure. So as I mentioned, I started as an intern, but this isn't what I thought that I was going to do forever.
Okay.
I initially wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
Oh, wow.
Long story short, what I realized is I wouldn't have the autonomy that I desire in that industry. I wouldn't have the financial capacity for myself and my family in that industry until a long, long, long time if you make it really big in that. And then more importantly, I wouldn't have the ability to have the impact that I have now. And all three of those things are really important and crucial for me. And so I ended up going to a career fair and just happened to speak to someone that was also affiliated with a bigger brand, the Northwestern Mutual. I didn't really know what they did at the time, but had
Okay.
several conversations. Ended up having coming to Atlanta, had a lot of different interviews, and even though it wasn't initially my background, I found a lot of passion in that, and I started as an intern, got credentialized, got other things as I continued to evolve. I finished in the top 20 as an intern within
Oh,
that
wow.
institute. And then I went full time after I graduated and have been doing that ever since. So that's a little bit about how I started. It really was just happenstance,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that it happened for sure.
No, that's awesome, man. And so I know you're based out of Atlanta. What are some of the types of individuals that you work with from a financial planning standpoint?
Yeah, we work with a lot of different people. I mean, if you think of any occupation, there's someone on my team and I where we probably have a couple clients in that space. But so if anybody can do anything at a high level, we probably have some clients in that. But the majority of the people that we work with are usually healthcare professionals. So a lot of healthcare professionals, a lot of dentists, a lot of physicians, and then also entrepreneurs. I would say those are the majority of the people that we work with, but have the ability to work with anyone that does anything really at a high level.
Gotcha. And from your perspective, working in the medical space, what do you love about, working with dentists and other healthcare professionals? Like what have you gained a certain level of passion from just working with those types of individuals?
Yeah, that I would say for sure. I didn't intentionally start on saying that I want to work with a lot of dentists or a lot of physicians. It was I had a friend that was a dentist, and I started working with her, and I saw that there's just a huge need
Hmm.
in that space. And I really like working with a lot of folks in the healthcare space because they believe, my experience is they believe in having a professional, right? When you need your teeth cleaned, or if you get sick or hurt, like you go see a physician or you go to the dentist. So
Yep.
there are just as big of opportunities in the finance space. And I found that they believe in relying on a professional that can help them uh, think through the things that they might not necessarily know. So there's
Right.
just been a lot of synergy. And then the need is also there, right? There's so many opportunities that's unique specifically to folks in the healthcare space. And also they have, generally speaking, the income to where they have the ability to solve some of the opportunities that are there. So it's been a good merger just all around for them more than anything.
Awesome, awesome. And when, let's say you bring on a new dentist or you get connected with a new a dental practice owner or anyone entrepreneur, what's your engagement process like?
Sure. So it's a process. The very first time that I meet with them, it's really just getting to know them and understand where they are. I find out a lot about their goals, and I find out about what they care about and who do they care about, and
Right.
also why do they care. I learned about what they were taught about money at a very early age. So it's just a fact finding, interviewing process initially because I really want to understand their psyche and their goals, right? So
Right.
that's the first meeting. After that, it's my team and I, we put together a plan. It's very tailored and specific to where they are and where they want to go. And I just present that plan to them. And then after that, I help them to implement some of the things that's in that plan to help them to achieve their goals. And if they
Okay.
choose to implement that on an ongoing basis, at least once a year, we get back together and we just review the plan and figure out what's changed, what stayed the same, and how do we need to adapt the plan as their life evolves.
Awesome. And so I guess when you think of financial planning, wealth management, that industry, when it comes to, I guess, what you really help them with, is it more on the personal business or on the business side or a combination of both?
It's a combination of both, and it really depends on it's a case by case basis, right? So
Okay.
a lot of times it's only talking on the personal side to where we're helping them to organize their surplus and protect what they have on the personal side, mitigate taxes, other things like that. But we have the ability on the business as well, right? So there's a lot of times where when they have a practice, they may want to set up a 401k for all of their employees, or they want to have some health benefits or some other benefits that are specific to their practice or their business. So we're able to help them set those things up as well, in addition to helping them on the personal side.
Awesome, awesome. And then when it comes to like when you're looking at their personal or even their business financial portfolio, right? What are some of the biggest opportunities that you recognize when analyzing that situation?
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, and this might be more specific to uh, maybe some folks in the healthcare space, but one of the biggest opportunities that I see usually is the opportunity for tax efficient investing.
Mm,
Right, so there's a lot of times where people are saving on a pre-tax basis, so they put a lot of money away to where you get a tax deduction up front.
yep.
But a byproduct of that is when you fast forward 20, 30 years down the line, all of that will be fully taxable whenever they're ready for that money. And so there's some other opportunities to where you can have some money to where when you're ready for it in retirement or beyond to not have to pay taxes. That's a big
Mm,
thing that we're helping people think through. And then other than that, it's just really systematically investing. There's a huge opportunity for people to, on a regular, reoccurring basis, to just systematically set money aside.
yeah.
Those that do that end up light years ahead of others that don't.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And that's super strategic and smart. To have someone like you to really help them think through that process. And obviously, I got to throw my marketing plug in there because it's a marketing podcast.
Sure.
So, how many of your clients are doing their own marketing or using marketing in a way that when you look at the financial side of it, that it could be advantage or disadvantage for them?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the folks that I work with, the way that they are doing their marketing is probably like a three-pronged approach. I've seen sometimes they do a lot of social media. I think that's probably the majority of how they're attracting clients. And I don't run the marketing at all or anything like
Sure.
that, but just from observing, they do a lot of social media. And then some of them are doing like Google ads, but I think that's a huge opportunity for them to make improvements within that Google ads, Facebook ads, and other things like that, which you would know a lot more than I would ever know within that. And then there's some that do even still the billboards and other things like that. So those are, from what I've seen, the three approaches that they're doing, and maybe a blend of each. But there's a world of opportunity for people to make that even more efficient so that they can have more revenue, which
Yeah.
ultimately increases their bottom line. And that's where I come in to help them.
No, that's awesome. And I think, to your point of social media, right? It's a great platform. You do have your restrictions with Facebook and TikTok and, some of these other, platforms that are getting, more regulated than others. I do think, social media is a great platform to push content out there and utilize it for brand awareness, for example, right? And it's also good for retargeting, where if they're catching the user or the audience that they're, trying to engage with on their website, that user doesn't take action and then goes to Facebook or Instagram. Being able to have pixels to show that brand back in front of them is critical. But I think when we look at dental practices and any type of physician, when you look at the raw data of lead generation or getting them qualified new customers, Google and Google Ads, to your point, where it's intent and timely based search behaviors. So like if someone's searching for a dentist in Atlanta, for example, right? They're looking for a dentist in their targeted area. They're not just scrolling on social where they're, just looking at their friend's wedding or whatever kind of social, event they're kind of scrolling through. But I think, just to your point about dentists, right? They need someone to help them through that process of understanding how to use online search and how to use marketing in general to
Yeah.
help them be more profitable. Because if they're not profitable as it relates to, especially financial and wealth management, it's going to hurt their business long term. And so a lot of times when I look at even, the salaries of like a marketing manager, I mean, it's like with the economy, as you can see, right? Like, I mean, it's 80 to 150K. So it's a wide range. And then if you have a marketing coordinator, it's going to be on the lower end, let's say 39 to about 70. In reality, those two individuals still can't perform marketing at a high level across the board. Like they're not going to be able to create a website, manage all your SEO strategies, and on top of that, run your Google ad and Bing ad, Facebook ad campaigns, and then create your content and post it on the website, and then analyze all the data, right? And if you're paying for someone to try to do all those things, and it's not like a dental marketing provider who has a team doing it, then to your point, like there's going to be a big missed opportunity of true profitability and running marketing campaigns that work. But you do need a point person, though. What I see in the dental space and medical space, you got to have a point person that can work with that marketing company. And then you're looking at finances, right? Seeing that they're become more profitable because they have a good system in place to generate new business. But yeah, that makes sense for sure. And I guess, for you, when you think about, do you see any of your clients trying to do their marketing themselves, or do they have like typically a marketing agency or a point person?
Yeah, I'm not all the way privy to exactly how they do that.
Okay.
Because I'm not in the nitty gritty of that part of their business. But I think a lot of times it's looking for ways where they can do it themselves. And for what I've seen, a lot of times they do get overwhelmed with it because it's so much that you
Yeah.
just you don't know what you don't know. And again, you went to school for medicine or for dentistry, not
Yep.
for that. So
Yeah.
you got to figure it out as you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess as like a final statement, right, as you've given us a lot of really good insights to, who you are, what you do, some big opportunity, big wins to help, entrepreneurs in general to maximize their financial planning. But I guess if there's one bit of advice or, just encouragement, especially with the economy, right, with inflation and just overall, just the state that we're in,
Yeah.
any advice you would leave the audience with as it relates to, just overall finances and wealth?
Yeah, I just say to make sure you have a game plan or a strategy, right? And don't leave things to chance. It's possible to have it all and to do a lot of what you really want to do when you approach it with the right strategy and a game plan. But when you leave it a chance, then something's usually going to fall by the wayside. So have a game plan, have a strategy, and then the more importantly, get started. Right, do it sooner than later,
Yeah.
because if you wait until later, there's just no substitute for time in the finance world.
Yep.
I always say smaller sooner is a lot better than larger later. If you do wait a lot longer, then you're going to have to come up with so much more because you can't substitute time.
Right. Right. No, that's awesome. And I can relate that in so many ways to just what we do too. And from a financing standpoint, it's I think about this just from even project management or just life in general. You make small steps. It's not hitting a home run starting out, right?
Right.
Small steps will get you to the home base, right? As we relate as a baseball. But now, thank you for sharing that, Chris. This was an amazing episode. I think you've given so many valuable insights to entrepreneurs, even dentists or physicians. If someone wanted to reach out to you, I'm not sure if you do like a free consultation or if you have some kind of engagement process. But if someone wanted to reach out to you, how would they do that? And then what does that look like for them?
Sure. I do have a free consultation, so I don't charge for us to have a conversation and figure out if there's a way that we can help. But so my email is christopher.ogletree@nm.com. My business cell is 404-219-3997. And then on Instagram, social media, it's Chris Ogletree 21. And Ogletree is spelled OGLE tree. So those are the ways that you can reach out to me, find me. I'm usually pretty responsive on all of those platforms, email, my business line, which I mentioned, and then also even social media.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Chris is a great guy to know. He knows his stuff very well. He loves the space that he's in. We'll include that information in the show notes. Chris with Northwestern Mutual, he helps with the financial planning and wealth management side. I'm Lamar with this Healthcare Digital Marketing Podcast. This is a great episode to listen to, and we'll catch you guys next time.
So yeah.
Thanks, Chris.